When you ask someone what the largest city in North America is, they might say New York City, Los Angeles, or Chicago. The answer is none of those. It's Mexico City. With over 20 million people, Mexico City is full of culture, history, and excellent food. In the city, you can learn about the country's rich history, go to amazing bars and restaurants, and explore beautiful parks, museums, and neighborhoods. In the surrounding areas, you can discover ancient pyramids and venture through canals on trajineros. In this segment, we'll go into the legendary historic center, El Centro Histórico. Then we'll walk down the primary avenue, Paseo de la Reforma. We'll also go into the Chapultepec Park and Castle, then finally stop by the nearby neighborhoods of Condesa, Roma, and Polanco.
One of the most magical things about Mexico City is that while it's a city of anywhere from 20 to 25 million people, you can literally find ancient Mexica or ancient Aztec ruins in the center of the city. You have the Metropolitan Cathedral, the Zócalo, which is kind of a gathering point. It can fit up to 100,000 people. And you have the Palacio Nacional of the government, but right next to it, you have some of the excavated ruins of the Templo Mayor, which was the central temple of the Aztec Empire. It's incredible to have that many eras of history all at the same time in one place. It's why Mexico City is one of my favorite cities in North America, in the Americas, period. Actually, you can get a pretty decent view from the ground, but if you want a really good view, you probably want to go up to the roof terrace of El Mayor. So it's a really beautiful view. You can grab a drink. It's good stuff. What I have in front of me is a traditional Mexican sweetbread called a concha. I have a flavored frozen margarita that's quite delicious. Just in Mexico City in general, but specifically in El Centro, there's a plethora. There's a ridiculous amount of museums. It's pretty incredible how much they want to preserve history here. So this is definitely a city for anyone who is really into those different things. I'm a history buff. I can't say I'm like a modern art buff or anything like that, but I do love history. I love understanding the past and how things came to the way they are now. So
The Angel of Independence on Paseo de la Reforma is one of the most iconic landmarks in Mexico City. It was built 100 years after Mexico's War of Independence, and below it is a mausoleum where some of the heroes of independence lie.
After checking out the Angel of Independence and walking down Reforma on a beautiful Sunday, and now I'm standing in front of Chapultepec Park. I am currently in Chapultepec Park, one of the largest parks in the Western Hemisphere. There's around 250,000 people a day who visit this park. And that would be because, number one, it's large, expansive. You can run, bike, jog, whatever you'd like here. Two, there are a number of different museums and historical sites like the Chapultepec Castle, which we'll go to in a moment. And three, because it's really relaxing and beautiful, and it serves as like a lung for Mexico City in terms of replenishing oxygen in the city. We are currently at Chapultepec Castle, which is actually the only castle that royals lived in North America. The view from up here is great. You're looking straight down Reforma Avenue. You can see the Angel of Independence, the Ritz-Carlton, and the Torre Mayor, which used to be the tallest building in Mexico City. Quite an iconic view from up here.
While El Centro Histórico and Reforma Avenue are full of sites, activities, and restaurants, you can also choose to stay in Condesa, Roma, or Polanco. These neighborhoods are incredibly popular with expats and tourists, and while I was in Mexico City, I stayed in all three of them.
It's amazing how all of the architecture looks beautiful. There's trees blocking the shade. As you can see from all the surroundings, it's just, it doesn't feel like it's in a 22 million person city. It's the most incredible part about this neighborhood in particular. Really relaxing, safe. In general, Condesa is probably the neighborhood you'll stay in if you're visiting Mexico from the first time from the United States. I can't speak for every other place, but it's a residential neighborhood. There are a bunch of bars, restaurants, etc. Every Tuesday, there's a local bazaar or market. It's basically an open air market or bazaar where you can buy groceries, different goods, and actually hot food. So right now I'm having some plantains and tacos. Polanco is really nice, relaxing, and upscale. On this avenue, you can find some of the most upscale restaurants in the city. It's a posh neighborhood. If you're into luxury brands, this would be a really good place to shop as well. I feel very chilled out right now. There's a bunch of parks. This is gonna sound crazy because I'm in the middle of a 22 million person city, but it almost feels a little bit suburban. Currently in Lincoln Park, or Parque Lincoln. One interesting thing about this park, there's a gift from the US to Mexico, which is a bust of Lincoln, which I find very accurate. And then behind me, you have a bust of MLK. All right, so right now I'm standing on the first floor of Museo Jumex, and behind me is the rather legendary photo of the Museo Somaya. I am standing in front of the Fuente Cibeles, which is a replica of the monument in Madrid, Spain, the Plaza Cibeles. Really good food around here, and it's pretty relaxing here at the top of Roma Norte. All right, Taqueria Orinoco was recommended to me by not one, not two, but three different people who are actually from Mexico City. Everything I've had on it is delicious. It's a really tasty spot. They also have amazing agua fresca. I'd recommend trying it. And it's right here in the heart of Roma Norte. I'm a bit closer to the main strip of Roma Norte, where there are a ton of different restaurants, bars, etc. Lots of greenery, real lush, and honestly beautiful settings. It's kind of a romantic neighborhood. And one thing that's extremely notable about Roma Norte is how well they take advantage of the inside, outside, indoor, outdoor spaces. So I'd say half of the restaurants have an indoor seating and then outdoor seating, or the indoor seating almost feels like you're outside. I just got a mezcalita black Oaxaca, and it basically has mezcal, Aperol, and a few other things. Quite delicious. I really like this Maíz Tinto / República del Tacos. Great ambiance. It has the indoor-outdoor type feel that I was talking about earlier, and great cocktails. Patio. I've probably been here 3-4 times, and I'll keep coming back because it's a cool spot. Great spot for cocktails and mezcal. They have a relatively extensive mezcal menu. I got one that bites a bit, but what I love about Patio is it's a patio. There are trees inside. It's very artistic. I'm at Yamania, which is a really nice spot in Roma, and I had a pisco sour and some yuca fries. They have a number of Peruvian-inspired dishes. I've never actually been to Peru, but they have a really nice coconut tartare that they bring with it, and it was good. I'm feeling satisfied. Had a great cocktail and I had a great drink, so I'm a happy camper.
Mexico City is an absolute gem. I can't find enough superlatives to describe the city. A true megacity with friendly people who are proud of their culture and heritage. Whether it's for the food and drinks, the history and sights, or the general ambiance, I highly recommend a visit to Mexico City.